Hey guys, Phantoman here, and today I'll be talking about a few games that you might not know about that are coming to us in 2018. These games were all featured during PAX South last weekend, and I thought that I'd bring them to you guys. Now, I'm not saying that these games are guaranteed to be great, just that they have the potential to be, either through their originality or through their gameplay mechanics, or otherwise. Outpost Zero. Outpost Zero is probably the game on the list with the largest amount of unknowns about it. Just recently announced, the best way that I can describe it is Rust meets No Man's Sky. Labeled as a sci-fi first-person shooter with focuses on base building, resource management, and survival, the player has the role of an AI overseer sent from Earth, entrusted with the future of humankind, and tasked with establishing a habitat that can sustain human life on a mysterious alien world. Now, the combat leads the player to fight a variety of alien creatures and defend their base against bands of pirates or enemy raiders. Players have the ability to attack enemy strongholds and loot their resources. The game will, quote, feature scale in combat with upgradable weapons and armor, and group combat with AI squad mates to lead into battle against enemy bases. With base building, one must harvest resources and build a stable economy, set up mining outposts and supply chains to your automated factories to create components essential for the operation of your outpost. You can make homes for your colonists, provide them with entertainment, and build defenses to keep out invaders. You will also be able to customize, upgrade, and train your AI to defend your base and to attack enemy strongholds. Upgradability includes improving weapons and armor, training AI to be better at combat, to be better at crafting, to be better at resource harvesting, and giving your AI jobs to keep them busy and happy, as happiness appears to be some sort of mechanic in the game. You will be able to build your AI luxurious quarters and can raise their morale by entertaining them and satisfying their needs. Now, all of this seems to be on one planet, and as the overseer, I'm not sure if you will be a physical person on the ground who just tells the AI what to do, or if you can actually jump into the seat of the AI and control them. Like I said, not much information has been posted on the game yet, but it is said to be coming 2018, and it does look like a good game. Due Process. Now, Due Process is a game that has been around, and I say around meaning that we have known about the game and seen parts of development for a while. Currently, there's not a set release for this game, but there will be an alpha and a beta before the full launch of the game. This game is currently being built for Windows, but may be open to other platforms in the future. So what is Due Process? Due Process has been described as a strategy first-person shooter that is much like Rainbow Six Siege. Games consist of 5v5 gameplay and will have two stages to them, a planning stage and an action stage. During the planning stage, each team has the ability to choose the weapons that they would like to use and what devices they want to use for that round, such as breaching charges or heavy machine guns mounted to shopping carts. The planning phase also allows the teams to draw lines on the map to organize their troop movement and strategies, and during the action phase, these lines will actually appear on the ground as visible elements. Teams, however, will have to be careful during the planning stages and take future rounds into consideration, because during each game, they are limited to the amount of resources that they have, and those do not replenish after each round. So if a team grabs all of the flashbangs during round 1, they will not have flashbangs for the rest of the game. Now, the action phase is basically just when the team carries out their plans, hopefully killing off the other team to win that round. So, do we have any idea on when we can start playing this game? According to their website, closed alpha testing should be starting within the next few months, and registration to potentially be put on the mailing list is still currently open. So if you like Siege or other types of 5v5 tactical shooters, then Due Process may be something worth looking at. Wormhole Wars. Wormhole Wars is a fast-paced sci-fi multiplayer shooter that combines the strategic elements of Portals with the explosive gameplay of a first-person shooter. Basically, think Halo mixed with Portal. Its combat will consist of 10 players, set in 5 versus 5, and will include a new strategic element to first-person shooters, portals. These portals operate just like the ones in the game Portal. You have two types of portals in this game, one red and one blue. although coloring may be team dependent, and when you walk through one portal, you come out the other. After watching people play this, I'm incredibly excited to see the different strategies and tactics that people use these portals for. These portals can be shot through and carry momentum, such as jumping off of a building and landing into a portal will send you flying through the air on the other side. The gameplay was much like that of Halo with generic weapons such as the battle rifle, but appeared to be very fast-paced, also like Halo, and the portals just add to the chaos and strategy, giving the player the ability to close the distance much more easily. Portals can go very far, by the way, and as far as I can tell, there is no limit to the distance that a portal could be placed from the player. Portals also only work for the player who places them, but can still be seen by everyone else, friendly or enemy. This prevents people from just walking into a bunch of random portals or getting confused by which portal they placed and where they will end up. Alpha keys for this game are currently out. Though it is an open beta, there might be a few hoops you have to jump through to get the key for this game, but I believe it'll be worth it, especially if you liked the Halo games. Phantom Doctrine. Set in 1983 during the Cold War, Phantom Doctrine is an alternate history thriller in which the players lead the Cabal, a secret organization dedicated to fighting a global conspiracy committed to controlling the world by pitting world leaders and nations against one another. Throughout secret missions, classified files, investigations, and enemy interrogations, peel off the layers of a sinister plot and save the world from a somber future. This game is a strategy, turn-based, single-player and multiplayer game that has elements of both first-person shooters and role-playing games. Now, I did not get to play this game at PAX, or even watch that much of it, but what I did see seemed really cool, and there was always a full line of people waiting to play this game. Its features include a new style of turn-based combat that is apparently much more flexible in movement, actions, and abilities. The battlefield takes place all around the world and includes asset positioning, bringing reinforcements, and other combat support mechanisms. Recon and infiltration to gain intelligence on enemy movements and positions has a high importance placed on it in this game. The player can also choose to complete a mission loudly or silently. The base of this game appears to have the player running their own counterintelligence organization and using it to fight other counterintelligence agencies. And every aspect of this game has an incredible amount of detail with how the player can handle and control their situation, going as far as forging documents, changing character appearances, recruiting operatives, and coordinating resources and managing contacts, all happening everywhere around the globe. The game should have a large degree of replayability from the single player's perspective at least, with new character names and backgrounds, randomly generated intelligence clips, and differing populations and maps during each playthrough. I am not quite sure how multiplayer will be handled with this game, whether it'll be two player organizations going against each other or if it will be a large-scale map. But if you like single-player games, and more importantly, strategy games, then I would definitely think of following Phantom Doctrine and checking it out when it comes out. The Darwin Project. For me, this is the game that I'm most excited for. This game takes place in a dystopian post-apocalyptic landscape in the northern Canadian Rockies. As preparation for an impending ice age, a new project, half science experiment, half live entertainment, is launched. It's called the Darwin Project, and it challenges participants to survive in the cold and fight to the death in a treacherous arena. The Darwin Project offers a competitive multiplayer third-person survival experience featuring at its core a new gameplay innovation, the Manhunt. In his or her path to victory, a player must survive extreme environmental conditions, track opponents, and set traps in order to win. So this weekend, including right now, the Darwin Project is in its open beta, and so I've already played a few rounds of it and it is a lot of fun. There's a large crafting component to this game, to where you have to craft your own armor and arrows as well as power-ups. Now, every person starts out with a bow and an axe, and there are no other weapons you can get, but you can craft arrows for your bow and use crafting to sharpen your axe. Also, it is the player's job to persuade the crowd and the overseer to favor them, because the crowd and overseer can give players different power-ups and such that make them more likely to succeed. Also, by crowd and overseer, these are actual people watching, voting, and controlling your experience. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't win without them on your side. I watched a lot of this game during PAX South, and I saw quite a few people beat the person who the crowd was rooting for, but it did seem extensively more difficult. On the surface, this game may just seem like any other Battle Royale game, but with the crowd and crafting components, this game is all its own, and a lot of fun. Anyway, those are 5 games that you probably have not heard about that are coming 2018, and I'm quite excited for all of them. If you want links for these games and information about them, then check out the description below. If you enjoyed watching, then click the like button, and if you haven't already, then subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, take care.